So I'm not going to lie, growing a restoration business was actually extraordinarily painful. You know, the 16-hour days, the putting out fires all the time, the waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning to rush to large losses. All these things are just unnatural as a human being. And as a rapidly growing restoration founder, I've got to say those are really, really challenging. Now, one of the things that I realized is that, you know, growing and having a successful restoration business isn't just everything in life, right? And there's other aspects in life that I severely sacrificed, right? So I was actually, long story short, almost passed away from COVID, had really severe COVID, was in the hospital for about 2 weeks. And it wasn't until that time that I realized the toll on my body that all these sleepless nights and sacrifice actually led to. So I knew I wanted to do something about it. And I ended up, for that past year, kind of recovering from COVID, toying around with different ways to really change my lifestyle. And I realized that I had built a lot of workaholic habits that really needed to be reset. So I stumbled upon Andy Friscilla's 75 Hard Challenge, and actually on November 6th of 2022, I embarked on this journey to do the 75 Hard Challenge. For those of you that don't know what the 75 Hard Challenge is, it actually is, 2 45-minute workouts per day, every single day for 75 days. One of them must be outdoors, no alcohol, following a strict diet plan, reading 10 pages of a book every single day, and taking a progress photo every single day, and a few other tasks, right? So it's a tough challenge, not really hard to complete. It takes you about 1.5 hours to 2 hours per day. But it really was this mental challenge of getting through all these things. But I'm happy to say that on January 13th in Guatapé, Colombia, I completed the 75th day of the challenge and loved it so much that now I'm doing phase 1 of the challenge, which is like a more harder version of the challenge that goes afterwards. And there were a bunch of lessons that I learned that I want to share with you guys all here today. So this challenge really broke me down and broke down all those bad habits that I'd formed for all of these years and allowed me to create new ones. And the lessons learned from it were great. And I want each and every one of you guys to be aware of these things, and hopefully this, makes you want to do something about those bad habits. And the first thing that I learned is all about excuses. Excuses, excuses, excuses. Every single day we come up with excuses as to why not to do something. And a lot of times as, busy entrepreneurs, ourselves come in last place, right? We always tend to come up with excuses as to why we shouldn't do things for ourselves, right? The first thing that came to mind was, I'm taking time away from the business to focus on my health to do this challenge, right? And that was an excuse. What I learned throughout these 75 days is they're all just literally excuses. There were days where I didn't start my workouts till 10 o'clock at night and was able to actually finish. There were a lot of times where, alcohol was a very, very hard thing to give up, and there were so many excuses to go in and have a drink, whether that was with a prospect or with an employee or with a family member, right? But at the end of the day, those are all just excuses. If you have the willpower to say no and say that you're sticking to something, you'll be able to do it. The biggest thing that helped is that identity shift. I wasn't doing 75 hard to, lose weight, or I wasn't doing 75 hard to have a specific outcome. I was doing 75 hard to become 75 hard, to change my identity from this once super busy entrepreneur that neglected love, family life, and everything like that, to now this new version of myself that followed those principles. And it was actually a very effective challenge. The second thing that I learned from 75 hard is that if you can see it and you look at it every single damn day, you can do it. And the challenge actually came with this app where you have all these checklists of items that you can do. So every single day, you're basically, looking at this app and you see what you've done and what you haven't done. And it's super motivating. And if you look at it, right, and you look at your progress of, every single day that you're completed, I would take a screenshot of that and post it up on my story, right? It's actually super motivating. Now, I started taking that and applying that same concept within business. A lot of times we want, our sales numbers to go up, or we want XYZ habit to go up, but we don't see it. And we don't look at it every single day. So I really think that this challenge really taught me that looking at something every single day and even reviewing those goals of yours every single day or multiple times per day can really help you succeed at where you're trying to accomplish. And the third thing that I actually learned from 75 Hard, in conjunction with my fear of taking time away from work to focus on myself, I was always very afraid of, focusing on 75 Hard, I'm obviously giving up hours of the time that I could be spending at work. Work could help me exponentially grow my business now, right? But one thing that I actually realized is when I was in the state of mind that, working out and, eating right and even drinking the gallon of water a day, which I forgot to mention, that's one of the things that you have to do, it actually magnified my output significantly. the amount of ideas, like every single day throughout my workouts, what I did was I added 10 minutes of writing after every single workout, because the amount of ideas that purely came to my brain, with my brain having so much water in it, which is the best fuel for the brain, were incredible. And I've got to say, although I spent less time maybe working physically in the business, the amount of output throughout this journey of 75 Hard was incredible. And it taught me that, yes, you can take time away from business to work on yourself. And when you do, your business output is actually exponentially greater. So if you are looking to break down old habits, if you are looking to create a drastic change within yourself, I highly recommend you take the 75 Hard Challenge. You can literally go to the App Store, look up 75 Hard. You just follow the rules. It's very simple. You don't have to go something crazy. Like, your workouts don't have to be like, crazy weightlifting twice per day. It could be like a simple walk in the park. That counts as a workout, right? And then obviously there's a lot of other pros. Like, I lost 25 pounds during the entire workout. So that was absolutely phenomenal. But again, I wouldn't focus on it as, oh, I'm doing 75 Hard to lose weight, or, oh, I'm doing 75 Hard to, eat healthier. You want to focus on doing it so you can change your identity, and it will serve you a lot more. If you guys like this video and like more content like this, please feel free to hit the like button or the subscribe button below. We'd love to have you to be a part of Albi After Hours, as I love this and I pour my heart out to each and every one of you guys. So hopefully you guys can share it and make the world a better place.